Hi everyone and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Kamillah Hamid and I am a cookbook author, TV chef and home economics teacher. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious strawberry cake, and it is a Swedish classic. It consists of a vanilla sponge cake, crispy meringue, whipped cream and a lot of strawberries. Sounds delicious, right? This cake has a lot of different names depending on where in Sweden you live, but I call it Pinoccchio cake. So let's get started because I am really craving this Pinoccchio cake right now. And the first thing we'll do is to make the cake base. And for the cake base, you need eggs, room temperature butter, flour, granulated sugar, milk, vanilla sugar, baking powder, and flaked almonds. And the first thing I'll do is to cream together room temperature butter with granulated sugar. Now that is what I call a really creamy batter. And now we will add the eggs, but only the egg yolks. The egg whites will be used for the crispy meringue on top of the vanilla sponge cake. So the egg whites go into one bowl that I will use for later. When you mix in the egg yolks, you do not want to mix too much, only until the egg yolk is well incorporated into the batter, and then you stop. Now it's time for the next egg yolk. This batter is just getting creamier and creamier, and that is a good sign for a very moist vanilla cake. Now I will get rid of this whisk. We won't need it until we make the meringue. Now it's time for the dry ingredients, which are flour, baking powder, vanilla sugar, and just sift this in. And don't you worry, I know we still have the milk left, but that won't be added in until in the end. And then just carefully work in all the ingredients into the batter with a spatula. You don't want to overwork this, just until all the ingredients are well incorporated. Time for the milk. And carefully mix that in. You don't want to get the milk all over you. Now it's time to spread this batter out on a baking plate with a baking sheet, and then it's time to make the crispy meringue. The egg whites are already prepared, so I will just whisk it until we get a firm foam, and then I will add in the sugar little by little while I whisk all the time. Something like this, and you know you've whisked enough if you can put the whole bowl above your head without getting all that meringue on your head. Now it's time for the granulated sugar. That is beautiful. And before I put this beauty into the oven, I'll just sprinkle it with flaked almonds. This will give the cake that extra crispiness and texture that will make everyone love this cake. If you are allergic to almonds, you can of course exchange it with anything else that gives the cake crispiness and that you can eat, like sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, coconut flakes, or like anything you like that becomes crispy in the oven. Now it's time to bake this cake base on 150 degrees for about half an hour in the middle of the oven. My cake base is done, and as soon as it came out of the oven, I cut it in half because this cake is a 2-layer cake. And while the cake base is cooling down, I will be making the filling. And normally, this cake is only filled with whipped cream and strawberries. However, I love to put some cream cheese in my filling to give it some extra fullness and to also make it a little bit more stable because I love to put a lot of filling in my cake. And this whipped cream cheese filling is super easy to make. The only thing you need is cream cheese, whipped cream, both of them taken right out of the refrigerator. When you're going to make this filling, they need to be super cold so that you can get a real stable filling. You also need powdered sugar, strawberries, and some lemon. And the first thing I'll do is to cream together cream cheese and whipped cream. You know you're done when you have these beautiful stiff peaks, and now you won't need the whisk anymore. Because now we're adding in the powdered sugar, and if you go in too hard on the powdered sugar and this batter, it will be a messy sauce and not a stable filling for the cake. So just sift in the powdered sugar, and then carefully fold it in. And it's super important to sift the powdered sugar in because otherwise you will have big lumps in this filling, and that is not a good idea. And last but not least, it's time to flavor this filling. I love to flavor it with lemon zest. You can take vanilla or lime zest, anything you like. And the more, the better. Because this cake is sweet and a bit of lemon doesn't hurt to balance the taste. And now just gently fold it in. We don't want to lose the consistency. And that's it. Now it's time to cut my strawberries in smaller bits, and then we're going to fill the cake and decorate it. And there is no rule on how many strawberries you need to have. You just take whatever you like. Most of my strawberries are cut. I saved some of them to decorate with later, but now it's time to fill the cake. It's super easy to fill this cake. I just take half of the cream cheese filling and put it on different places on the cake base because the meringue topping is very fragile, and if I put everything on one plate and just scrape it out, I will mess it up. And then you can take a spoon or spatula or whatever you have and just spread it out in an even layer. Be careful. As I said, this cake base is a little bit fragile. Beautiful. Okay, so now we'll take some of the strawberries and just spread them out on the cake base like this. And you can be as generous as you like. If you ask me, the more strawberries, the better. Now it's time for the second layer. This is the hard part. I don't want this to mess up. I don't want it to break, but we'll just see. I'll do my best. Oh my God, I'm so happy I got it off the baking sheet. And just put it like this on top. You can press down a little bit since we have an uneven layer underneath. And then you just put on the rest of the filling. Now you just spread out the rest of the cutted strawberries, but this is not it. We will put more strawberries on top, and then I will decorate with lemon balm. So some whole strawberries, and then I will cut some of them in half. And now you really want to make sure that the whole top is covered in strawberries. The cake is almost done. I just want to decorate with some lemon balm because we also eat with our eyes. And all this red color needs to be evened out with some greens. My strawberry cake is finished. It's so delicious and I'm so proud of it. And I really hope you try it out because it's amazing. Have a beautiful day and take care.